have new orders that require me to go dark for at least a year, maybe more. A special assignment in an undisclosed location.
West Tower Observation Post, your home for the next 365 days.
The world has always been filled with stories about places that test the limits of human courage, but none of them compare to the kind of fear that surrounds the Gorge, a place that has become synonymous with danger, betrayal, and the fragile line between survival and disaster. For years, this mysterious abyss has been the center of rumors, whispered tales, and secret reports that talk about people disappearing without a trace. Strange echoes in the night and unnatural shadows that move with an intelligence of their own. Now, with a new wave of updates and developments coming forward, the entire community surrounding this phenomenon is buzzing with excitement, curiosity, and a rising sense of unease, as everyone tries to understand what this movie's latest reveals actually mean for the story it is about to unfold. There is a growing anticipation around the project, not because of a sudden marketing wave, but because the fresh updates paint a picture that is more tense, darker, and more emotionally complex than anyone first expected. The newer details highlight how deeply the movie will explore psychological survival, as well as the complicated relationships that form between people when they are forced into situations that strip away every mask and expose the most vulnerable parts of their humanity. Instead of focusing on superficial thrills, the newest information suggests that the movie goes for an intense emotional core, where trust becomes a weapon, fear becomes a compass, and every decision carries consequences that ripple far beyond a single moment. What stands out in the new updates is the way the characters have been shaped. The film's central duo is described as people who carry heavy histories, individuals broken by their pasts, but still fighting desperately for a future that feels slipping away. Their relationship is not simple teamwork. It is a volatile mix of suspicion, loyalty, frustration, and unexpected connection. They are brought together not by choice, but by necessity, trapped in a brutal and isolated environment where the landscape itself feels alive and predatory. These characters are written with layers, crafted to challenge each other, trigger each other, and yet gradually rely on each other in ways they never planned. Every new detail reveals that their chemistry isn't just physical or emotional. It's strategic, survival-driven, and edged with tension that constantly threatens to explode. The environment of the Gorge is another highlight that keeps getting more attention. The filmmakers have reportedly pushed for a design that transforms the location into a character of its own. Instead of being a simple canyon or rocky drop, the Gorge is depicted as a labyrinth of steep cliffs, echoing chambers, treacherous ledges, and unpredictable weather patterns that trap sound, twist direction, and create illusions. Every new update seems to emphasize that this place isn't just a background for the story, it is the main threat. The space plays with the senses, hides dangers in silence, and amplifies danger with every shift of the wind. The newest reports mention the intense challenges behind designing this environment, especially the desire to make audiences feel the suffocating tension, the dizziness of height, and the constant paranoia that something unseen is lurking just beyond the next ledge. There has also been a lot of discussion about the emotional themes that drive the story forward. New details state that the movie doesn't rely solely on physical danger to create suspense. Instead, it digs deep into themes of redemption, forgiveness, and the haunting weight of guilt. Both main characters carry emotional wounds that shape their decisions within the Gorge, a past mistake, a failed mission, a betrayal, or a personal loss that still claws at their conscience. As the story unfolds, their survival isn't just about escaping the cliffs, it's about confronting truths they've been running from for years. These emotional battles are given just as much importance as the physical ones, blending together into a narrative that feels human, relatable, and raw. One of the most intriguing aspects of the updates is the description of the action sequences. Instead of traditional large-scale fights or exaggerated stunts, the movie reportedly leans into realistic, grounded, and desperate confrontations. The action is described as close quarters, messy, exhausting, and unpredictable. Every move carries weight, every blow feels earned, and every moment of danger forces the characters to adapt quickly or fall victim to the unforgiving environment. Rope swings, cliff climbs, narrow escapes, and sudden collapses form the backbone of the action, and the newest updates emphasize that the realism is intentional. The filmmakers want the audience to feel every slip, every breath, every heartbeat pounding with adrenaline as the characters struggle against nature and their own limitations. Another major point in the new information revolves around the mystery hidden within the gorge. While earlier descriptions suggested a straightforward survival scenario, the latest updates reveal layers of conspiracy, deception, and hidden motives that enlarge the scope of the story. The gorge is not just a natural formation. It is a place connected to secret operations, unresolved conflicts, and a buried truth that threatens to surface. As the characters dig deeper, both literally and metaphorically, they uncover pieces of a larger puzzle that connect their pasts in unexpected ways. These new reveals hint at emotional confrontations, shocking realizations, and plot twists that reshape everything the audience thinks they know about the characters and the dangers that surround them. The updates also highlight how the story blends intense thrill with quiet, emotional moments. Not every scene is high energy. Many of the new details talk about calm, haunting sequences where the characters are forced to reflect, confess, and negotiate their sense of trust. Moments where the sound of wind echoing through the gorge becomes the only companion. Moments where the silence is more frightening than the action. Moments where a single sentence between the characters changes the entire direction of the story. These scenes are said to be some of the most powerful, emphasizing that survival isn't just about muscle and reflex. It's about vulnerability, honesty, and the fragile bonds that form under extreme pressure. The cast updates show that the performers have taken their roles seriously, focusing heavily on emotional depth and physical intensity. According to the latest reports, the actors trained extensively to master the climbing techniques, survival strategies, endurance routines, and tactical behaviors needed to portray their characters authentically. This dedication is apparent in the way the film reportedly captures their exhaustion, bruises, sweat, trembling hands, and strained voices. The new details emphasize that the physical acting is essential to immersing the audience in the story, grounding the film's danger in reality, rather than exaggeration. The chemistry between the performers is described as electric, sharp, and emotionally charged, carrying a sense of unpredictability that makes their partnership thrilling to watch. Beyond the characters and action, the new updates also reveal that the world around the gorge expands as the story progresses. Flashbacks, conversations, and discovered evidence begin to connect the isolated location to a wider network of events happening outside the cliffs. The movie gradually reveals how different lives, decisions, and conflicts all led to this single moment inside the gorge. This layered storytelling approach makes the narrative feel bigger and richer without taking away from the intimacy of the main character's struggle. Every reveal adds tension, raises stakes, and deepens the mystery of the gorge's true purpose. The more the updates unfold, the more it becomes clear that the movie is aiming for a unique blend of suspense, emotion, and character-driven storytelling. It avoids predictable hero clichés in favor of flawed human characters who grow not because the story demands it, but because survival forces change upon them. The Gorge itself becomes a test not just of strength, but of honesty, trust, loyalty, and the courage to face inner darkness. The constant push and pull dynamic between danger and emotion keeps the tension alive across every update described so far. There are also exciting mentions about the way the film concludes. Without giving away explicit spoilers, the update suggests that the ending is powerful, surprising, and emotionally impactful. Instead of offering a simple resolution, the conclusion reportedly ties the emotional arcs together with a final, intense confrontation that redefines the entire story. The last scenes are described as visually breathtaking but emotionally heavy, leaving the audience to reflect long after the credits roll. The ending promises both closure and open-ended interpretation, allowing viewers to discuss and analyze the story even after leaving the experience. As more and more updates emerge, they continue to shape an image of a film that blends psychological depth with visceral survival, raw emotion with breathtaking visuals, and gripping suspense with shattered humanity. The Gorge is shaping up not just as a thrilling movie, but as a story about people pushed beyond limits, forced to uncover truths, and confronted with choices that decide who they truly are when stripped of everything else. From the intense performances to the haunting environment, from the cryptic mysteries to the painful emotional journeys, the new updates reveal a film that is not just meant to entertain, but to immerse, challenge, and linger in the mind long after the story ends.